So with Alan, you're the president of the Classic Rally Club. How long have you been a member and how long have you been president?
I've been a member since about 2015, and prior to that, I was obviously a member of the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. Still a member of both clubs.
Yep.
I've just ticked over 21 years with the Alfa Romeo Owners Club, and been currently president of the CRC since last November.
Okay,
So it's
so
fairly new to the role. Our
Yep.
previous president was in the role for a decade, so it's time for a change, and then basically it's just seeing where we can take the CRC in the future.
Good. So that was the AGM in what, October or so?
November.
November. And so what sort of Alpha?
I've actually got two. I've got a 1750 Series 2 and a 2 litre as well. So both 105s, 1970 and a 74 model.
Good. I'm a bit of an Italian tragic myself, so I've got Arbats, Fiats and Maseratis,
Yes,
so
yes.
appreciate some of the work that you're probably putting into the cars
As
to
you can imagine.
enjoy them.
As you can imagine, there's everybody says the old tin worm gets into them, but any car of that kind of vintage has to deal with that as well. But just, I mean, as soon as you hear the sound and the character of the vehicle, I just fell in love with them. So it was one of those, I started rebuilding one, and then all of a sudden it's like, I need another one to drive. And as they say, Alpha, always looking for another. So yeah, I ended up with two so far. So it's always looking for another.
And have you got one on the run today?
Not at the moment. I'm actually navigating, and I'm in the Masters category. And actually, we're in this Subaru WRX. It's a 2001 model, which is obviously a little bit more comfortable. It's got some air conditioning, power windows, and a few other odds and ends. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to get out. And as you can see, the wide variety of cars that come on these events is fantastic.
I was actually amazed because I did the Autumn Glory tour a few years ago down in northern Victoria, and even then I was surprised at just how many different vehicles there were, from utes through to modern kit and even some of the older stuff as well. It's such a broad mix.
Well, that's certainly one of the benefits of the CRC, not being a marque club, obviously having a background in the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. They've got the benefit that Alfa Romeos are still being made and sold, but many other facilities and other car companies of that ilk and vintage just no longer go. I mean, MG's still around, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. So seeing MGBs out and stuff like that. But the CRC, we're open to all makes, models, marques, every bits and pieces, and every car comes with a story. And every owner comes with a story, and that's what I mean. That's the wide variety of cars and backgrounds that you can have within the CRC is one of the great things about our club.
Yeah. And what I like about the way that you structured these events is the different categories. So you can get people in on a level where they're getting to understand the club and the routes and the actual events, and then they can move into being an apprentice and then a master. It's quite a clever way of getting people into the club, getting them using the events and enjoying them, and then moving up into some of the heavier competition.
Yes. Well, that was one thing. The CRC always started, and there was only ever one category, Masters category, which is obviously the full-blown navigation events, full mapping, and things like that. And then obviously we wanted to widen that to open it up for other people, and obviously other people, members of other car clubs and things like that. So obviously implementing the different categories, and obviously the tour category is a very important one to us. It's a bit different from a normal tour. Like other car clubs do tours, and basically it's a lot of follow the leader type stuff. You've got a start car, you've got a tail car, and basically they snake their way through. With our type of tour, you're the one that's in control. You've got your route chart instructions, and during the day, you're the one that's out there with only possibly 2 or 3 cars around you, enjoying the great touring roads that we have around. And certainly down here in the Sapphire Coast for the Ire of Man TT, I can't certainly complain about any of the roads. There's barely any potholes in it. There's some wonderful touring roads, the tight twisty bits. You've got some of the vistas we've been seeing over the last day, and then obviously again today is absolutely amazing.
And this is what I think people miss when they're city-based, whether it's Sydney, Canberra or Melbourne. There's so much more of the country to go and look at, and these types of events really open the eyes to stuff, especially coming down here, Sapphire Coast. Who knew that there was this amazing facility with the Historic Vehicle Club with so many extra vehicles here, and an amazing facility.
Oh, it's absolutely unbelievable. As I said, I mean, most of these events we do try and get out into the areas, and we usually, for most of our catering, we try and speak with P&Cs and stuff like that. So with the areas we do visit, we do try and give back. And being down here in the Sapphire Coast and their historic car club here and the facilities they have available is absolutely incredible. They've got full-blown workshops. They've got obviously galleries full of cars, and just how they've hosted us both yesterday afternoon and this morning for breakfast, and basically just got everything on display is amazing.
What's in store for you today? Heading up to Dalgety and then back into Canberra. Do you yet know the route and where you're going?
No, we're masters. We've got absolutely no idea at the moment. So basically, we've got our maps from yesterday, and obviously seeing how much of the country we're going to either crisscross back over again. But I imagine the first division today, which is actually Division 3, should cover about 200 kilometres, and then after lunch should be somewhere in the realm of that again. So about 400 k's of awesome touring driving. And as soon as we get our instructions, that's when the fun begins, because we've got to decipher where we're going in the Masters category. But that's all fun. That's all part of the fun.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll probably see you at Dalgety, and if you've got a smile on your face, I know you've enjoyed it. And if it's a bit of a frown, you've probably had a bit of a tricky time up there.
Oh, it's all right. Even on a bad day in a rally, it's not a bad day, is it? I mean, when you get out and you're out and about and in your car touring with a great mate or a partner or something like that, it's like, what else can you be doing? I mean, really, get out there and enjoy the drive.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We'll talk later.
No worries. Absolute pleasure. Thanks very much.